Hello, welcome to the Caz and Daz show. It is season 2. It's episode 2. It's February the 15th, 2022. We have done a horrible, horrible job. Mostly both of our faults, and therefore nobody's fault. It's just the way the world is. Get off our backs, yeah, okay? And when I'm mainly talking to myself. Do have a podcast we recorded a little bit ago. Let's not talk too much about that. Coming out tomorrow or Thursday. Here it is. It's in. It's good to go. Just a bit of tidying up. Hi, my name is Darren Paul. I am a basketball commentator. I commentate for London Lions, Anglia Ruskin University, Basketball England, amongst other teams. And potentially other sports. Who knows? If you need a commentator, look me up. Joined as ever by the legend, also commentator, and we'll get to that. Cazzy B. Caz, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. This is exciting, isn't it? We've not done this for a while.
It's been so long. It's been so... Oh, see? This is why... See?
This is why we're back.
Our main man, who? What took you so long? It's a very fair question. Yeah. To be fair, I will say, in my defence, the London Lions European schedule has not been kind to Darren. And, that's... I mean, it's been very kind to Darren because he's commentated loads of European basketball. Like, who'd have thought it? But, yeah, it's been kind of knackering. Not going to lie. We have not actually really discussed what we're going to talk about tonight. But in keeping with what we said to the Australian podcast that we were on. Oh, yeah, we have been podcasting. We've gone global, yeah? Not just
that's what we've been doing.
We've been doing, hey.
Here and just popping off over to Australia.
Spreading the world of women's basketball in the UK to Australians. Why wouldn't we? So, yeah, Caz, do you want to just talk about that briefly?
Yes. So we were on the Shooting the Breeze podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you can get your podcasts.
Yeah, all good and bad podcast providers.
Yes. We spoke to Paul and Jacinta. Those guys are doing loads to support women's basketball in Australia, and they were interested in finding out more about the British League and just British basketball in general. So we went and told them all about it. We told them what was wrong with it, what was right with it, what was going on, and they've been very interested in seeing the cup final that took place a couple of weeks ago. So they were watching that. I think Paul's getting really into the London Lions as well. So we're just spreading the word. So give those guys a follow because there's a lot of similarities we found between the Australian Women's League, the WNBL, and our WBBL, just in terms of how the teams work. Just a lot around just women's basketball, a lot of similarities, and they seem like they're at almost a turning point where it's going to be, now is a good time to get in, isn't it? Get in, get invested, pick a team, and just see where it goes.
That was it was a really great experience. I've just put their Twitter, the Breeze Pod, into the chat. But yeah, it was a great experience. Chatting to those guys. They asked some really interesting questions.
Yeah,
some of the questions we were asked were actually really interesting. And some of them we didn't have the answers for, which again, I think that was really interesting in and of itself because we were asked about like some of the financial situation of the league, the WBBL, salary caps, and couldn't find a thing. Could not find a thing. I did go digging, and some of the offences like players can get fines for really interested me. Like if there's like a uniform violation that was worth more financially than if you don't have like a first aider or something crazy like that. I can't remember. Don't quote me. But yeah, it was really interesting podcast. Check it out. We will reshare that link when we can find it. But yes, so that was exciting. I just need to bring attention to this. Thank you, who saying and doing a fine job at London as well. That's very kind. It is always nice to hear. So let us dive into it. Let's dive into it, shall we? What shall we kick off with? Well, I'm going to kick off with the WNBL. Just a little, as we were talking about in previous podcasts that we've done this year, holistic view. We're not going to do the, what did you see in this game today, this week, or whatever. But we're just going to dive into it. So here's getting people up to speed with the WNBL. The Cola Silk Pride. I'm going to contradict myself immediately. They lost last weekend. They lost to Ipswich last Saturday in a close run thing in Ipswich, I believe. So they're now perfect record. They've got that one loss. They're down to 12-1. They are still my favourites and the favourites to win the league. However, that does open up opportunities to other clubs. I think Loughborough Riders have the best chance of anybody to catch up to them, though. And the BE write-up was a little bit like, AOU have no hope. It's a bit like, well, I mean, it's a long shot. It's going to take a lot for Ipswich, Anglia Ruskin, or TVC to get in the title picture. Ruskin have a game in hand. But yeah, so Cola, they're doing a great job. The teams below them need Cola to stuff up, and that's a tough ask. Now,
have Loughborough played Cola? Sorry, have Loughborough played Cola?
I don't think they have. I don't think they have this year. I do need to triple check that, but I don't think they have. What I was going to say was, people are talking like, oh, nobody expect them to go the full season undefeated. I mean, once they hit 12-0, I was like, I mean, why not? But they did lose to Stockport, did they not?
Yes, they did. Yeah,
they did. Was that in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, certainly wasn't semis.
No.
WBBL review says wave. I think that's a wave. Is that a wave emoji?
Yeah, that's a wave. Yeah.
I'm an old man. I can't see these things. But thank you. Hello. Waving at you.
WBBL review, you need to get to Manchester, please, for the Mystics games.
Sort it out. Get up there. I mean, it's a bit difficult for one of the hosts right now.
Well, I mean, it's a flight.
I mean, how far is Belgium, from Manchester, really? Hey, you got an international airport in Manchester. You all set? Yeah. So, yeah, that's with D1. That's your little D1 update. Cola are very much in the ascendancy. Loughborough have done well so far this year. They were supposed to play AOU at the weekend. That would have been, I think the winner of that game is the team that has the best shot at the title of those two. TVC, Ipswich. Ipswich struggled, 9-4 record. I say struggled. They're still, looking good for a top 4 finish, which means a home quarterfinal. If they're top 2, that's a home semi-final, should you make it that far. So Ipswich, on a big rebuilding year, are doing really well, actually, picking up some big wins. They've got a couple of big players still in Cameron Taylor-Willis. So she's captaining the team. She has had some really big days. She had 20 rebounds on the weekend. So she's having a nice one. Ava Batiste, 19 and 12 on the weekend. Liv Forster, she's had a couple of huge performances and has seen herself in Team of the Week a couple of times. So those are, for me, the standouts for Ipswich, who are doing great. Down the bottom end of the standings, the race for the 8, I'm all about that. I think we're probably looking at our playoff lineup as it is right now. I think Cardiff are the 8th seed at least. They could rise maybe higher than that. But I think this is your top 8. I think this is your playoffs. Reading have been wildly inconsistent. Worcester have lost all of their, or not all of their, but a number of top players to a team called Gloucester nearby in the WBBL. And so that's been really tough. Barking Abbey London Lions too, they are interesting. They've just added Rashay Walton, who is the daughter of the 1994 BBL MVP, Nigel Lloyd, and my co-commentator at London Lions. And she's absolutely tore it up so far. She's been a hugely positive influence on this team so far. And I think she's played 3-4 games maybe and had 3 monster performances. So, and she's also captained like captaining the side in your third game for them is pretty. It says a lot. It says a lot. I mean, she played before. I want to say Portland State in NCAA. So you know, got that American college experience. Come over. She's working with the WBBL team. She's playing for the WNBL team. I mean, she's a hooper. I mean, like daughter of Nigel Lloyd. What do you expect, really? But yeah, in her own right, she's doing bits. So they're really interesting. I don't think they sneak into the playoffs because I think it's just too much of a tall order. But I think they can definitely leapfrog Worcester. I don't think they're getting Rockets, but I can see them finishing in the top 10. Now, foolishly, I can never remember the relegation rules and where we're at. I don't know if it's bottom 2 or bottom 1 going down this year. I assume bottom 2, but I think that's all going to come out in the wash a little bit. Caz, do you have any comment or takeaway with the WNBL D1 this year?
I'm just super impressed with Liv Forster. Like, I got to see her obviously play for the Mystics a little bit last year. From Manchester, I used to play on a team with her dad, and I just think she's having a really strong season. And she's got some amazing highlight plays as well. So just really pleased to see Liv doing really well.
She's having herself a year. Caz, shall we stay in the national leagues?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Caz, were you doing something a few weekends ago?
Was I? I was, yes.
Oh, what were you doing?
I was at the National Basketball Performance Centre for the junior and senior finals, National Cup finals.
What were you doing there?
What was I doing? I was commentating.
Yes, you were.
Yes, doing a few interviews as well. Having a quick chat with some people. But yeah, I was commentating with Adam Masters for the junior games and the John Hobbs on the senior game. So,
how was that? How were you? How was it commentating in national? I have also done that for the playoff final. But how did you find it? How did you find was it 5 games in 2 days?
Yeah, so it was 4 games on the Saturday. They were basically back to back. It was about 10-15 minutes between games, which was that's a challenge. that was difficult. Me and Adam didn't even have time to go out and get anything to eat. We were just one game to the next. Give me a roster.
Did they not check like signies at you?
No, they were too far away. They were in catering for about 10 minutes.
They treated us proper. back in my day.
I should have got a runner. I should have been like one of the kids to go do it. But it was absolutely fantastic experience. Absolutely loved it. And then I filled in. So Rhiannon Bailey was supposed to be doing the commentary with John Hobbs on Sunday. She unfortunately had a positive COVID test that morning, so I was asked to step in and commentate the senior game, which was one of the best games I've ever seen, ever, full stop, between Stockport and Thames Valley. No, let's just Stockport and Solent. Sorry,
Solent. Let's talk about that. So I commentated the semi-final one of the semi-finals. It was between Anglia Ruskin and Solent Kestrels, and I was speaking to both coaches before the game, and I was like, obviously, what do you make of today's game? Blah blah. I was like, who do you want to come out of the other semi-final? Because if you get Stockport, and this is no disrespect to anybody, so don't even start. But it's a no for me. It's kind of a no-win because they're a D2 team. It was like you want TVC. Surely to goodness, you want TVC. And to be fair, like people I was speaking to, they were like, "Let's just get through like this game." I was just like, "That's totally fair." But and then you were at the TVC game.
Yes.
Talk to us.
So okay, this is a month ago now. I've watched a lot of basketball since, but it was a super, super close game. So I believe Stockport were up at one point around halftime. I think it was a very close game, 2 or 3 points in it. And then in the last quarter, going into the last quarter, Stockport were down. I can't remember by how many, but they managed to come back, tie the game, take the lead within the last minute, I believe it was. And Thames Valley had a chance at the line with like 1 second on the clock, 2 free throws to tie the game, take it to overtime. They missed, and Stockport came out with the win. And it was an incredible atmosphere. They were playing at the Performance Centre as well. they'd got about 200 people there to support them, support Stockport. People just shouting, banging drums. There was just instruments everywhere. And it was just a fantastic show of support for women's basketball. And it was such a good game as well. Jade Butters had 18 points. Rosie Hines, who played for the Mystics last season, had 15. And just some fantastic performances. And Stockport just looked like they were just, they were so happy to reach the final as well. Like, they put so much work in, beat Thames Valley. And I'm pretty sure every time they've gone along and beaten someone, everyone's thought, oh, they're the D2 team, they're not going to do it. And they've done it every single time.
I mean, people were talking to me. So we found out, because you were texting me during the game. So I think we found out the score by halftime, maybe, of our game.
Because there was no live stats, was there?
Yeah, no live stats. And I was talking to people, and they were like, who is on this Stockport team? Like, who do they have? Because if you're in D2, like, who knows what's going on down there? But yeah, talking to people, and they were like, who the hell is on this team? And so people basically surmised that it was like the Georgia Jones generation. It's people that came up pretty much with Georgia. And so, yeah, give us a bit of a walkthrough of who's on that roster.
So you got Rachel James and Jade Butters, who were on the Mystics Cup winning team in the WBBL. You've got Rosie Hines, who played for the Mystics in the WBBL last season. You've got Vogue Lucas. I'm forgetting someone, Steph Jones. And
any relation to the rest of the Jones clan?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, okay.
No. Nick Boardman, and just a whole host of just names from Manchester basketball. And speaking to Jade after the final, she was saying, they're kind of the group of players that have stuck together for so long when they restarted the Stockport team, the Stockport Lapwings team. And, they just know each other so well. Rahana, does an amazing job coaching as well in Manchester for the FBA. And just so many players. You look down the list and it's just like a who's who of Manchester basketball.
It's male comparison incoming. To me, it feels a little bit like a Northampton Titans or Northamptonshire Titans. Are they Northamptonshire? Yeah, they are Titans. Like a bunch of players who've played together for years, known each other for years, just came back and were like, let's just play together and let's just go and kick the bejesus out of their league. They are currently at the top of the D2 North standings with a 10-1 record. Who beat them? We don't know, and we'll probably never find out. But somebody did.
I do know.
Oh.
Do you know? And it's in my notepad that's in my living room.
I can feel like a champion.
Yeah?
Yeah. He says he lies to the people. So whilst Kazzy B is out of the room, very quickly to answer Kaz's question, yes, Loughborough Riders and Southwark Pride, they have played. They played on December the 11th, 57-58. It was a win for Southwark. Yes, it was. Loughborough had a chance at the buzzer to get the win. Didn't come off for them. I think it was Robin Ainge put up a triple. I could be wrong there. There was it was one of those close, obviously. It was a tough loss for Loughborough to take. They I think I'll be honest with you, their players didn't all take it in the greatest of spirit. And why would you? You've just lost a huge game with title implications, possibly, but it's only 1 point. So they need a win in Southwark on the third last game of the season. If they win that by 2 points or more, they'll have the head-to-head. So it's really, really, really interesting matchup there. Who were the key performers when they met? Aliyah El-Shabrawi, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. She has been awesome this year. Aliyah El-Shabrawi. She was the only player for Loughborough that really came to play. Ainge had herself 8 points. Erin Hickin had 11. Lasuya had 7. So, some nice performances there. I'd say as well, since the new year, KJ has been the KJ that we expect and that I don't feel we saw heaps of early going in the season. Katie Janishevska, she's really really stepped up in the second half of the year. Emily Black, top performer, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Funmi Amode, 16 points, 6 and 4. Key performers, I would say, for Cola Southwark Pride. So, Caz, just to fill you in, because you probably didn't hear that, they did play Loughborough and Cola. Cola have a 1-point advantage. They took it 57-58. Do you remember that game where they played and at the final buzzer it was a little bit drama? Just a lot of really unhappy Loughborough players.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. Was that one? Right.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, there we go. They meet for the second time and the final time this year. Maybe, who knows? There's playoffs. March 20th, 2022, 2:15 p.m. at the City of London Academy. Should be good.
So Stockport lost to Derby Trailblazers in December, 72-57.
Oof. Why do I feel like I knew that? But also, oof.
You don't. The problem is with the D2 stats, you get the top 3 scorers sometimes, but you don't get any information on who played, who was missing. What? Which I have an issue with.
I was a D4 commentator. I know that life.
But why do we have stats for D2 men, but we don't have stats for D2 women? I don't think that's right.
Then take it up with BE.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we don't have stats for D3 men. We never had stats for D4 men, so I don't know quite.
But it's the equivalent, isn't it? It's the equivalent. It's not equal.
Is it the equivalent? I don't like.
Because you got D1 for both, D2 for both.
D2, no, D2 split north and south for men. Yeah, fine. I don't know. I really don't know. Stats is one of those. I think it's absolutely I don't think it is. It's absolutely essential.
Something that was really interesting.
I want it to be right for D1. Yeah. Let's get that right, because that's not it's not been right this year. Which, as somebody who makes the decision on the team of the week and the stats aren't right, it makes my life very, very difficult and not a little bit stressful. Anywho,
something that was interesting though was speaking to Solent's coach before the game, and he was saying, it's difficult to scout. It was difficult to scout.
CJ Lee, by the way, shout out.
Sorry, yes, it was difficult to scout Stockport for that game because where's the stats? Where's the film?
Yeah, there is none.
Who do you, So you got. So you're saying it's very, very difficult to do that. Which, it's.
I spoke to Anna Nevison straight after that game, and I told her, I was like, "Oh, you've got Stockport in the final," and she's like, "All right, cool." I was like, "What do you mean, all right, cool?" It's like D2 team, you know what that? She's like, "Nah, we know them." Do you? So, Solent have a bunch of kids from Bradford.
Yeah.
And just north, who obviously will be aware of them players. So that's interesting. So yeah, and let's stop beating around that particular bush. The final D2 Stockport Lapwings win the WNBL. Oh, that should say Cup final. My apologies. Cup final. Outrageous. Look at this beautiful graphic, by the way. Shout out Basketball England. And they took it to OT, 81-77 victory. It was unbelievable. Kazi B, fill us in.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. If you've not watched it, it's on YouTube, on the Basketball England YouTube channel. Go and watch it because it was, quite frankly, one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. So, really close game. Stockport took a lead. I should have been prepared for this. It was a few weeks ago. But Stockport took the lead early, I think it was. One team took a lead early.
Stockport lit it up early because they couldn't miss from outside.
Yeah. And then Solent got back into it. Solent took a lead, but it was super close all the way through. Then getting to the fourth quarter, you've got Stockport who were down by 10 with 2 minutes to go. And you're sort of thinking, okay, this is a shame because, I'm completely neutral, but really wanted Stockport to win. And you could see that.
How? You said the quiet bit out loud.
As an unbiased commentator.
As an impartial media individual, you're like, yeah, let's get it. And to be fair, it really came through on commentary as well. Every time like Solent scored, you were like, oh, I mean, oh no,
Well
I'm messing. I am messing. I am absolutely messing. Thought commentary between you and John was absolutely fantastic. I thought you guys killed it.
Thank you. It was great. It was great working with him. He's brilliant. He's great to work with. So yeah, down 10. The crowd in the stands isn't, nothing's letting up. Loads of green for Stockport, and then Stockport just score 10 points in the last 2 minutes, and don't let Solent score and take it to overtime. And it is just, you look back on it and you think, how did they do that? And then it comes to overtime. They've got the momentum. They've got the rhythm. Solent are a bit, ooh. And Jade Butters bangs in a 3, and it's just over from there. And Stockport win, and it's just, the crowd was going crazy. You could see how much it meant to everyone on Stockport. And it was just one of those games where you're like, this is something really special. You just watch something really special. And the game itself, a perfect advert for women's basketball. We had nearly 600 people in the stands. It's had over 4,500 views online. What an advert for the women's game. Like, it's just, everything about it was brilliant and perfect. And speaking to Jade afterwards, saying like, you were down 10. How did you do it? And she was kind of like, oh, it was a bit of a blur. We weren't, looking back on it. But she's saying something that I thought was super interesting. She's sort of saying, when you're younger, you think 2 minutes, you're down 10, the game's over. But as you get older, you realize 2 minutes is a long time in basketball. And
it's a long time.
Possession by possession. She was just, get a stop, get a basket, get a stop, get a basket. And then you're there. It's 5 baskets in 2 minutes, which can feel like a lot. But she was just like, you just learn that as you get older. Don't panic, take your time. And I thought that was, brilliant advice to anyone out there. But just a masterclass in defense as well from Stockport. And that's something that they really work hard on, is their defense. Like, they've got so many players as well who might not show up on the stat sheet. They might not be scoring loads, but they're taking charges. They're just being that player that puts the ball off and puts players off, and they're altering shots and things, but it's not showing up on the stat sheet. The JLC, as Adam Masters likes to call it.
What was it that you always say about charges in the game?
Oh, no, it's not me. It's Kat Hume. So Kat says, when we were talking to her, that how much of a momentum changer a charge is, because it fires up your team. It kind of deflates the other team a little bit. And you could see it, like you could see it when Stockport were just taking charges and winning. But yeah, just absolute masterclass of defense, brilliant basketball. Everyone should go and watch it. And you were watching something really special. Everybody that was there in that crowd is going to remember that game.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And if you want to be coached by the winners of the National Cup final, come down to the Manchester College on a Monday for the Female Basketball Association that is run by Jade Butters.
Have you got your the graphic?
Yes.
All right.
I'll find it.
Chuck it in. Chuck it in so that we can show that off as we go through today's episode of the Caz and Daz show live, because who's got time to edit? So that was the story in the National League. So it's been pretty wild. It's been pretty exciting down there, and we're set for a really exciting close to the D1 season, and then finals day or finals weekend.
It's the 24th of April.
Yep, I am excited. I might be there. Hopefully,
I'm excited.
All things crossed. We might actually be in the same city at the same time. Actually, no, we've already been there. We've done that. Yeah, we've done that. We've never met each other, but it's fine. Right. On to the BBL, I think. Or
WBBL.
The WBBL, sorry.
Do you want me to play the...
Boom! There it is. Okay. Standings of the WBBL. Sevenoaks Suns, London Lions, they are at the top. They are both unbeaten. 12-0 record for the Suns, 11-0 record for the Lions. Sheffield Hatters started like a house on fire. They have dropped 2 games now. They're down to 11-2. Who have they lost to? They must have lost to Lions and Sevenoaks.
Yeah.
Sevenoaks the other day.
Yes, on Saturday.
Both close games, especially the Sevenoaks one. A little bit of we're doing it, but let's just do it because it's a huge game. Just what did you see from the final couple moments of that game?
I think it was interesting. Sheffield were down 3 with about 12 seconds to go, had the ball and didn't call a timeout, just kind of carried on the possession. Sevenoaks pressed when they got to the 3-point line, and the ball was kind of knocked away, so Sheffield had to take a bit of a last second shot that they obviously didn't want to do from nearly in the halfway line. They didn't actually get a chance to take a 3 that would have tied the game, taking it to overtime. Because I don't know, you've got Georgia Gale, you've got Helen Naylor, Ebony Horton, you've got a lot of 3-point shooters on that team, and there wasn't anybody. They weren't in the position to, as a team, not a player, they weren't in the position to take that shot because of the defense that Sevenoaks were playing.
I always find it interesting when a coach doesn't call time in those situations. Like, obviously you can't, if the ball's live, you can't call time, but was there no out of bounds? Was there no opportunity there?
It was after a basket. Sevenoaks scored.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
have the opportunity to.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's wild. It's interesting when, you're at that level, and me and Nigel Lloyd talk about it all the time on the commentary for the Lions men and women. It's the chess match of the battle between the coaches. So we've got a couple of different tiers in the WBBL this year. So you got the top 3, who are streaks ahead of the rest of the league, and we've got this sort of middle 4, maybe Riders,
4, 5,
Mystics, Wildcats, Rebels, who, I think those 4 I sort of hold together. Eagles, they're currently 4 and 6. They have had, oh my goodness, they have had a tumultuous season. Huge roster overhaul. Coach is gone.
A few players.
A lot of players. A lot of big names. So, yeah, just a lot going on up there. It's, you can find the drama from the drama channels. We ain't that. But it's been a bit of a mess. And then the newcomers, Gloucester City Queens, 3 and 6 record. Again, they've had a bit of turnover. But they've done a lot of recruitment from the Worcester Wolves D1 team. But they're 9th. They're knocking on the door of a playoff spot right now. They're exceeding Oakland, Durham, Caledonia, and Cardiff. Those are established WBBL teams. So it's really exciting. Like Gloucester, I don't see them making the 8, but they're in the conversation right now, which I think is really exciting.
It is, especially for a first-year team. This is the first year. You've got essentially you starting from scratch, nothing to build on. So it's a really good position to be in at this point in the season.
And they have just added Molly James today, announced new signing for them. Again, has played a couple of D1 games this year for Leicester Riders. She was at a D2 college in the States, came back, came through Charnwood, came through some other places. I just did prep on her the other day, and it's gone out of my mind. But so interesting to see how that addition changes things. So for me right now, that is the little WBBL wrap up. The big news in domestically, however, London Lions won the WBBL Cup final by 40 points. They beat Newcastle Eagles, who did a great job to get there, 87-47. And the thing is, this was the lead into the final, the 10 days before the final. That was chaos for Newcastle. Coach gone, players gone, big overhaul, big turnover. Ultimately, in the final, they gave a good account of themselves. You were there.
I was there. Yeah, it was. I had a great view. They did, and I thought Newcastle did really well. People will look at that and say it's a 40-point game, but as you say, considering everything they had gone through up until the game, I think the coach was saying, on the Saturday or 48 hours before, some of the players didn't even know other players' names. They'd just come in because they'd got some new signings and things. And to be able to play in a final in front of 6,000 plus people when you're only just known your teammates for a few days as well, I thought they did a really good job as well. It's so hard to gel in such a limited amount of time. I thought they did great with what they had. It'll be good to see throughout the rest of the season when they've actually had time to practice together and play together. But I think they did themselves proud in that game as well. And there was so much support for them as well. There was just, the Newcastle fans in the arena as well were making themselves very
Newcastle fans travel. They travel really well. They really are a credit to their team, both men and women. They're really fantastic. So yeah, it's the result we all expected.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people this year don't expect the Lions women to lose many, if any, games. For me, they're by far the best team in the league. Like, that's not exactly a hot take. 11-0. And the only team that's going to give them significant trouble is the Suns. They've not played against the Suns.
We've not had it was postponed. It's not been rearranged. Yeah, we've been waiting for this rearranged fixture, but it's not on the website yet. And the last game of the season is Sevenoaks and London, but there's still the other one that needs rearranging. So that's going to be all eyes on that one, I think.
Absolutely. Did they split those games last year? Sevenoaks definitely won at least one of those matchups last year. I think Sevenoaks won both of those matchups last year in the league at least. So it's an interesting one. This Lions team, they're just incredible. They, I don't think we've spoken about it, but their European journey, they made it out their group. I was lucky enough to commentate on two of those games. Castelbren, a win inside the Cup Box Arena. They did, a really great job on a strong Belgian team. Then they took on Tango Bourges Basket in Crystal Palace, of all places, that historic venue, and a 1-point win, but an enormous win against the best team in the Euro Cup women this season. It was tremendous, and everybody who touched the floor had a good game. Zania was great, Holly was great, Joe was magnificent. Shanice Beckford-Norton, who is that close to being able to dunk, by the way.
Oh, I tell you what,
she's incredible.
I was eye level with her in the final. Like my seat was.
How high up off the floor were you?
She's ridiculous. She's
incredible.
I think when you see her in person, like at that level, when you're on the same level as the court, I was like, she's going to be in the high jump in the next Olympics.
She's incredible. She's incredible. She's on my list of absolute favorites to watch. She's unreal.
She's amazing. She's amazing. And just the way she gets to the basket as well. She's so fast. She's so exciting.
When her and Chantel Charles are really playing really aggressive and direct and driving at teams and people, they are actually a real difference maker for London. Azania is great. We know that. Joe's great. We know that. Holly's great. We know that. And, they're consistent. They're always that. Shanice and Chantel Charles, at times, they haven't. Again, I'm thinking about the Castelbren game in particular, because that's when it really stood out to me. First half, they were like penetrate and then come out, and be like, I was like, dude, you're Chantel Charles, you're Shanice, you're awesome. Like, just go him. And easier said than done. But these are two players who, when they're playing aggressive, they lead by example for their team. Like, Shanice is captain for a reason. And as soon as they started doing that in that Castelbren game, they took over, and it was it was Lions to lose essentially. Similar story against Tango Bourges Basket at home. Aggressive, getting inside, getting buckets, and awesome. Awesome.
Unstoppable as well. When Shanice is going, she's driving the lane up to the basket. The way she can get the ball up, at any angle off the board as well.
Yeah. Anybody who goes to her, it's going to be a foul.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're either getting the basket or you're getting the free throws.
She's awesome. She's fast. She's strong. She can jump out the gym. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so that was your Shanice Beckford-Norton is ace moment. Enjoy that. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, Mark Clark, Coach of the Month for January. The job he has done with Lions team is stunning. Actually, it's bloody awesome. They fell to Castabren on the road. Shame, not unexpected when you're playing against, again, the best. No, sorry, not Castabren. Tango Borj Basket. When you're playing against a team of their caliber. Were they EuroLeague last year? They were, weren't they? Yes.
Okay.
They were in the group with Landes. Yes, they were.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, awesome stuff.
There's a press conference that Mark Clark and Azania Stewart did after the final that's on YouTube. I think it's on the WBBL channel. Can't quite remember, but it's really interesting to hear him talk about like what he sees the future of the club as and how that they are, they want this to be the standard. Joe Leadham, Warner echoed it as well. They want this to be the standard of women's basketball in the country, like what London are doing and what they're building. It's only going to bring up the standard of other clubs as well. And it's a really interesting, I think it's 20 minutes, just a really interesting listen to go and watch back.
Yeah. I mean, what they're doing is incredible. And yeah, of course, there's money behind it, but there's what's stopping the rest of the league. And we spoke about this on Shooting the Breeze. What's stopping the rest of the league, being where they're at?
Yeah.
The only thing stopping it is people's own
limitations, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say limitations of not buying in and not supporting it like they can do.
People are talking about they win that game against Borj. People are like, oh, hang on, who's this team from Great Britain that are beating the top seeded team in the Euro Cup? Like, who is this? And then people are like, oh, London Lions, okay, right. So you've got that interest, you pique people's interest. You've got the story as well with Jo having played for them when she won Euro Cup, and it's always a bit of a, people want a little storyline to go along with it, don't you? So it's, I think that caught people's attention, and that's so valuable. Like, you can't, you can promote stuff and things, but you can't get the publicity that a win like that is going to bring to women's basketball in this country.
Just want to also mention a bunch of players. Kendi Leonard averaging over 10 assists a game. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
I tell you what like, she's a really exciting player to watch. And I think something that leagues need just in general is you need a player that catches people's attention. And she is that kind of player, like her and Shanice as well. Kennedy is really electric when she plays because she's just, you're drawn to her when you watch her because some of the passes that she makes, like, it's just, how does she do it? And having her, be a face of a franchise as well. It's, again, that's just something else that's going to bring people in as well.
What this year has seen is a slightly diminished role for Cassie Breen, which that's a shame. That it just is, like, because Cassie's awesome. But I tell you what, when she's come into games and they've put the ball in her hand and just said green light, she's a problem. She is a problem. So this team, they're real good. We are excited about them moving forward. Right. So that's you up to speed on all things WNBL and WBBL. Yes. I feel like we have looked at this standings sufficiently well enough. Do you see Gloucester in or out?
Out, because I think that's going to stay. I think the top 8 is going to stay. Yeah. I think they'll shuffle, but I think Newcastle are going to get back on track a little bit after this break that they've got. New coach, new players. I think Newcastle are going to get back on track and it'll stay the same.
Do you see... Sorry about that, just dealing with some comments. Do you see Manchester getting a home playoff?
What are they, 6 and 5?
6 and 5.
8. I think they're just going to miss out because they have 2 London games coming up. Yep. They have to play. They've played Sevenoaks again. I think they're just going to miss out. I think they might finish 5th. Unbiased analysis.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Right. We're going to take a quick moment to check out the FBA, and then we'll be back to talk about Caz's statline of the week and any other business. So back in a moment. Word from our sponsors, Notch, the mark of achievement, and we are very glad to have them on board with FocusHoops this year. They make fantastic bracelets that look super stylish and really help you celebrate your sporting achievement. They've just launched a basketball collection, and we're really excited to be on board with them. Let's imagine that you're a player. Let's say that you're Courtney Vandersloot. You got 18 assists in a single ball game, and you want a notch and a bracelet to commemorate that fact. Well, you can do just that. Customize it to your team colors, put the year that you achieved it, and get it the exact size that you need. There are a number of the colors available. Or maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're the coach of a basketball team. Let's just say that you're the London Tyrannosaurus Rex. Your team wears red. You had the league's most valuable player, the MVP, and you want to celebrate that. You want to award them with a great looking notch bracelet. Well, you can do just that. And you can get it saying MVP on the notch itself. That's the charm. You can get the colour you want. Gold is one that I'd go for if we're commemorating the best player in the league. We could even get the team logo, if it's the Tyrannosaurus Rex, let's say, on there. And present it in a beautiful presentation case. Huge thanks for Notch for coming on board FocusHoops. Hi, welcome back in FocusHoops. Caz, we need some music on that FBA advert. But yeah, absolutely awesome. Go get yourself, go play yourself some basketball in the Manchester area. You can play against Caz. You can be like Hannah Shaw. Have you ever wanted to be like Hannah Shaw?
Everybody wants to be like Hannah Shaw.
Everybody wants to be. Hannah Shaw's great. Love
Hannah Shaw had a great game on Saturday as well.
There you go. It's because she's awesome.
She is. But yeah, beginners, advanced. If you don't want to play, you want to coach, you want to referee, you want to help officiate the table, you want to do anything that gets involved, come watch. Open to everyone. Brilliant atmosphere. You know, if you've never played before, you want to try it, just come on down, Manchester College. The Instagram handle is on the post. Just Female Basketball Association.
There you go. So you'd say it's all right then?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah,
it's all right.
No, it's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's centralized league as well. So, which I don't know, for me, that's a huge benefit for me. Someone that doesn't drive, you know where you are every week. You've got games. It's just brilliant. It's great. And Jade is a fantastic coach. Rahana coaches as well, and Autumn Lucas as well. So great bunch of people leading it, and really welcoming, nice atmosphere.
Nice. Caz, where do you want to go?
Let's go straight into my stat line of the week.
Ooh.
So, do you know what I've done now? I've taken my numbers off because my numbers weren't saying this is the number 1, 2, and 3. They were just numbers. They were out there for you to pick. So, in no particular order, Kelly Santos playing for Trepeka in Kosovo.
Oh yeah, here we go.
To Shara Jeffries' team. So Shara Jeffries' teammate, a 54-50 win. She had 21 points, 21 rebounds, and 2 assists. Alicia Jenkins played in Israel for Ramat in a 122-92 win. She had 39 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists on 68% shooting, and she didn't take any threes, which I like because I love her.
Did you just say 122-92?
Yes.
Did they play 60-minute games in Israel? Like, what on earth?
They're a shootout. It's just score.
Yeah. The no-D league. Okay.
Yeah. And then Davida Warren had 17 points, 27 rebounds, 14 of which were offensive, in an 81-80 win, and that was in Armenia.
I know nothing about Armenian basketball. Try to stress that. I know even less about Armenian basketball than I do Kosovan basketball, if you could think such a thing. I've got to go Davida Warren on this one. 27 boards, 14 offensive boards. That is 14 opportunities that
In a
you are
1
giving
point
your
win.
team. What was that?
In a 1 point win.
In a 1 point win. Listen, as somebody said on the internet today, control the glass, control the game. And that's exactly what Davida Warren has done in Armenia. Don't come at me that I'm choosing somebody from the Armenian League, but that is outrageous. But
Mikey.
also, so is Alicia Jenkins. 122.92 win.
Yes, and she shot 13 of 19 from the field.
It's just absurd. And Kelly Santos basically scoring half her team's points. That's also awesome. But Davida Warren, you are my Caz's statline of the week. We don't have jingles on this. Like, if we did, we'd definitely have a jingle or something. But
that'd be it, yeah.
Whoa! What is this? We have background music. No. Sorry, I'm getting very excited by this. I didn't know this was a thing. So cool. Our streaming platform upgraded, apparently. That's it. Sorry about that. Complete tangent. This is usually what happens when we go off air. Caz, there's only one place I want to go right now, and it's Caz's Corner. Boom. Hi, welcome. Actually, you welcome us. It's your corner.
Welcome to Caz's Corner. My European wrap-up is not so European this week.
Jesus. Strong start. Strong start.
I want to take you to the other WNBL, the Australian WNBL, which is the top women's league in Australia.
You know who the top women's team is in Australia? It's Perth.
The Perth Lynx, who are just wow at the moment. Just the best. They had a late start, didn't they? They started weeks after some of the other teams.
Yeah, they started in January.
Mm-hmm. And they've got their roster: Marina Maybury, obviously Dallas's sharpshooter.
Too good.
22.1 points per game she's averaging. 22.1. Like, good for her.
Good for Marina Maybury.
Jackie Young.
Also too good.
Yeah. Sammy Whitcomb. You need more threes. Marina Maybury's not going to give you enough threes. Throw in Sammy Whitcomb.
Is Sammy Whitcomb Australia captain?
Ooh. I don't know if she's Yes. No, she is. She is, isn't she? Yeah.
She is, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she is. And Ashley Eisenberger as well. You're a fan?
And, yeah. Big. Yeah. We love the Eisenbergers.
And they are currently sitting at 7-2. So they're top of the table with the University of Canberra Capitals, who are second at 7-3. And Canberra.
Don't worry about them. They're getting run up.
Canberra have got Brittany Sykes playing for them.
They do. Yeah.
She is having a very good season so far. Her first season.
Brittany Sykes, 15.8 points per game. She's having herself a year. But it's all about Marina Maybury. MVP?
I think, she's up there. She's up there. Definitely. And Perth are they've been in some really close games, some really tight games, and they've just watching them is fantastic. All the game, I say all, I don't know if they are all at the moment, but most of the games are on YouTube. You can watch them live on the FIBA channel. And they're actually quite good time. Sometimes they're like 7-8 on a weekend morning.
Not horrible.
Yeah, not horrible. So they're doable. Some of them are at 3 a.m, so watch them back. But yes, really good games in the WNBL, and we'll keep an eye on that throughout the season. I think they've just made an announcement, actually, the league did, that they're shortening. I think they're shortening the season by a few games, and if anything gets postponed due to COVID now, they were being rearranged. I think now they are not going to be. If they need
to. It's an interesting decision. Marina Maybury averaging. Sorry, not Marie. Brittany Sykes averaging 15.8, 5.4, 5.1. That's just nice.
Defensive player of the year as well. Like, everywhere she goes, she's just a defensive menace.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of WNBA players will be looking at Australia, I think, because, well, Australia's
English
awesome.
speaks English.
Language, weather, maybe that, but also there's something coming into the CBA in the WNBA next season, I believe, called prioritization, where players are going to be they can be fined or lose some of their salary if they aren't at training camp by the time training camp starts. And obviously, with players playing overseas, that's going to impact a lot of people. With the Australian,
that is a joke. When your league is a summer league, and these women are making their money playing in Europe from September, October till May, and that is disgusting.
I don't understand how that got agreed to, because I don't see the benefit for any players. So I don't understand how that got in.
Sorry, Caz, I just took over Caz's corner and made it Darren's soapbox for a moment.
No, it is. I disagree with it. And what I think you're going to see, I think that's going to have a detrimental effect on the WNBA. I don't think that's going to have the positive effect they're maybe hoping for, because they've said they're hoping to get players jobs, like in coaching roles, front office jobs, stuff like this, which is great. But then you can't do that for everyone. And the players then are going to lose the 7-8 months where they would actually be playing.
Yeah. And earning.
Yes. I mean, they'll be earning if they're coaching or in the front office, but they're not going to be paid what they're paid overseas. And obviously the appeal of maybe staying at home offsets some of that, but it's a weird one. But with the Australian League, because it finishes earlier, I think you're going to see a lot of players wanting to go over there so that they can still play all year round and not get penalised by this new clause in the CBA.
I got an amazing idea, right? Check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a world in which the WNBA started its season in, I don't know, let's just check out a month. October.
Yeah.
And finished May. Huh?
That's a wacky idea for basketball.
Right. It's wild, huh? Wild idea.
But if they do that, is that not gonna? So then, are you gonna have less players, like international players, coming over because they won't believe in their European teams?
Oh, look, so be it. So be it. But the thing is, like, if the WNBA wants to become the NBA of women's basketball, like the elite league, like the top players will make their way there. But also, we don't see the best players.
No,
from Europe.
Yagapova, we haven't seen.
Yeah, like she is the EuroLeague MVP. Like last 2 years, definitely. Yeah, like she's unreal, and yet not on a WNBA. So. It's a domestic league. It's a national league. It's just fine. Like, so it's going to be mainly Americans. But just it might work. It might be a nice idea. Like, it's not. I don't know. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
It is, and I don't understand why players would have agreed to that, to put it in the CBA. It seems an odd one. Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning behind it on the players' side was. So, and on the back of that, so Breanna Stewart, we've not got to the WNBA yet, but Breanna Stewart just signed a 1-year deal with Seattle. And she said the reason she signed a 1-year deal was because of the clause coming in next year. She's not giving up a year's salary for her Russian team to avoid that. So it could be a case of you're going to lose seeing some of the best players in the WNBA because they will prioritize their European teams over it, because Breanna Stewart's making a lot more money playing for Ekaterinburg than she will be in the WNBA. It's not good. It's not good.
It is not good. It is not good. I'm really, really interested about this priority idea. I want to look more into this. But yeah, like if you want players to make it your number one thing, you need to be paying them properly. Like, they're not paid enough. Just simple as. But also, it's a really short season. Make it a full proper season. Bring it in line with the FIBA windows. Like, why not? And thirdly, I just don't get it. And it's annoyed me a lot. It wasn't a great third point, but kind of ran out of steam there. No, that's That's just weird.
Mm.
Weird. Is there what else? What else we got?
It was the FIBA World Cup qualifiers this weekend.
Ooh.
This week, it's been going on for the last few days, and there was some upsets, some exciting games, some upsets. Nigeria beat France. They came back from being 20 points down and beat France behind I think it's Victoria McCauley. I'm sure it's Victoria, but Victoria McCauley had a great game, and she's a really exciting player to watch for Nigeria. Nigeria then played Mali, and Nigeria got to a 20-point lead. Mali came back with 20 seconds to go and made it a 2-point game. Nigeria managed to hold on, though, so they're going to the World Cup, which is being held in Australia in September this year.
Yes, it is.
So Australia, they qualify by being hosts, but the 12 teams that have made it through are Australia, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Canada, China, France, Japan, Korea, Nigeria, Russia, Serbia, and the US. So, 12 really good teams to watch.
Wait, how did Bosnia, Japan, and Canada all make it? They've got 1-1 records. Hang on. 1, 2.
It's
3,
to do
4,
with
5, 6,
the
7,
top
8, 9.
3 go through each group.
Oh, top 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
Yeah. So
France did make the World Cup.
Yes, but it was just a shock for. I think it was an unexpected win for Nigeria against France.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It doesn't people. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not that surprised by that. It doesn't shock me that much.
Nigeria very good. Nigeria
yeah.
are really good. And they didn't have Elizabeth Williams, any of the Agumke sisters, and they have someone else, and I'm very sorry I've forgotten her. But they didn't have their I guess big name WNBA players.
Yeah,
they have some great players on that team though.
So yeah, I'm like I say, I'm not mega shocked by that one. China beating France, Nigeria, and Mali. China, ooh, they are looking awesome. One of their players.
We had a triple double in the Korea game with blocks.
That was the Aces player.
Jisoo Park.
Jisoo Park.
Yeah.
She is excellent. Hello, dog. Are you here to talk about women's basketball? But yeah, Brazil not making the World Cup. That's the group that they were in. They were dealt a real tough hand. Not a major shocker. Belarus have not made the World Cup. They didn't bother playing their games. And Puerto Rico also do not make the World Cup. They lost all 3 of their games. Interestingly, USA and Russia did not play one another. So, bit of drama there. So, yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm excited for World Cup. When is the World Cup? It's this year. Is it September?
September, yeah. I think it's the 22nd or the 20th.
Well, luckily, we're going to actually bring coverage proper. We're going to have a daily no, I don't know about that, but we're going to have maybe we go big on the World Cup. I don't know, but yeah, we're going to work out our World Cup plans, but it's going to be sick. What's
going to be interesting is obviously, again, because of that starting earlier, the WNBA season now has to finish earlier, so they have to squish more games together because normally the WNBA season runs into October with the playoffs and the finals, so they're having to work around that and have a short season again.
So it's a really interesting problem. Yeah.
Because essentially half your roster.
Imagine solving that by having a season that fits in with the FIBA window. Just a thought.
We stop with this madness. I don't know where you're getting these wacky ideas from.
Oh yeah, sorry. God forbid I want
a basketball season in the winter.
Just be normal and good. Also, you speak about the winter. A major plus to Australia for players looking at Australia is the fact that it is the summer. You have a summertime, which, or at least you'd be playing in the summer.
Yeah.
Which for WNBA players, that'd be amazing because you get basically summer all year round, unless you're one of these terrors that is like, oh, I hate the summer. But which is the opposite of what a lot of these players will probably be experiencing.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of pluses to play in Australia.
So I think that is also really, really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent stuff, Cazzy B. Is there anything else?
Just when we spoke to Shara Jeffries I was going to say a few weeks ago, it must have been probably back end of last year now.
About 5 months ago.
She's still like taking over in Kosovo. 36 points a game, almost 7 rebounds, and nearly 7 steals. She is going to be. I'm excited to see where she goes next year, because she's making a name for herself there.
35.9 points a game, and she's outscoring the next nearest player by 13 points per game. That's just absurd.
And she's shooting around, I think, 45%. So
6.8 steals per game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sarah McBakey.
Yeah,
She's back.
She is, after her rebounding masterclass last season.
2 steals. 2 blocks. 12.9 steals per game. Rebounds per game. Bloody hell. And Che Real Whitsitt.
Yeah, she played last season as well.
Doing the business on the boards, which is exciting. Sarah McBakey also 22 points a game. Real Whitsitt 21 points a game. I'm laughing because it's like, when did we? If you'd have told me, let alone 10 years ago, 2 years ago, that you'd be like, Daz, you'll be seeing names of the Kosovo players playing in the Kosovan Women's Basketball League, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, what they up to? Oh yeah, I know these storylines.
If only we could watch it. That's what we want.
I know.
We stream it on Facebook Live for us.
It's just, yeah. I take it like what's it called? The one on Twitter. Whatever that is. Periscope. Just Periscope it. It'll be fine.
What's the Periscope? I don't know.
But yeah. To Shara Jeffries' team, Trepka, they are 4th with a 5-8 record. So I think they're going to make the playoffs. Who does Sarah McBakey play for? She plays for Pristina. They are top 14-0. They are doing the business. The cup final, will be between. I do not know. I thought I knew. I've lied to myself. But Bashkimi are one of the teams. They are currently 3rd. And I don't know the other team in the final. But that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That is fun. Right, Cazzy B. Any more for any more?
Not European-wise. If you want to go WNBA, you can go WNBA.
I mean, I'm pretty annoyed at WNBA right now. Let's go WNBA.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So we've had some big moves.
We have. Oh, God.
Do you want to know what the biggest move is?
Yeah, go on then. I'm just going to take my headset off and you go.
Kennedy Carter's in LA. Woo! Kennedy Carter, scoring machine, got traded for Erica Wheeler and a draft pick, I think. So she's going to be in LA and it's going to be awesome. She's going to play. We're going to get to see her play. She's going to have a coach that doesn't forget she's on the bench. She's going to get put in a game. It's going to be wonderful. And everyone in Atlanta is going to not be happy about that when they see what she's going to be able to do in LA.
She gets traded. She's
not getting traded.
She gets traded before the draft.
No.
I'm just telling you. Listen,
that's the most nonsense thing I've ever heard.
It's right. Firstly, that's a lie. Okay, because who is their coach? Who's their coach, Caz?
Don't ruin it.
Who's their coach, Caz?
Eric Fisher.
And does he get on with the GM?
I mean, they're quite close. Quite close.
Does he get
Eric
on with the
Fisher,
GM?
the GM, yes. Well, actually,
Does
they seem like
GM
they're at odds.
a little bit? Does GM Derek Fisher work in the best interests of Coach Derek Fisher?
No, he does not.
Not always.
No.
I genuinely, I'm not just being a troll to wind you up, though it is quite amusing. I would not be stunned if she sees herself traded.
No, to where?
I don't know.
No. They've
I don't
picked,
know, but somewhere.
it's no.
You say you can't. You say you can't.
She's a generational talent.
She just got traded.
She
didn't play half a season, and then she got traded.
Lost its mind. Like,
well, yeah, that's kind of yeah. I mean, that's
not on her. That's not on her.
I mean, I'm just saying.
She's a generational talent. She's called Hollywood. She's in Hollywood. You can market the stuff out of that, can't you?
Good job. We are a family-friendly podcast. By the way, let us know in the comments. Firstly, hi, thank you for joining us. Let us know what you think. Will she get traded?
No.
Before the start of the season?
Say no, because she's not. Because that's just, it's not going to happen. She's not getting traded, right? Do you remember when you were like in the middle of last season? Oh, Kennedy Carter's getting traded before the deadline. I was like, no, she's not getting traded before the deadline. Didn't get traded before the deadline.
Should have.
No, she shouldn't, because then she wouldn't have been in LA. This is perfect.
She should have got traded because they didn't do anything with her anyway.
Well, that's true. Yes, yeah, but like I think this is the perfect place for her because the other teams don't fit when you sort of go through them. I think, we were doing this a few weeks ago when it happened. LA is a perfect place for her. She's got teammates like Taya Cooper, Brittany Sykes, and they can do all the cool, fun stuff. And then she's got like players like Necker who can just like guide her and help her grow and develop as a player and a person. And it's just I think it's the perfect situation for her, maybe minus the coach, but he's not going to forget she's on the bench. So that's fine. Like,
every time you say it's a perfect situation, do you know what makes me think? She's getting traded before
she's not getting traded. She's not getting traded.
On the annoyingly, I seem to have deleted all of my WNBA bookmarks, which is super not helpful because I was trying to find draft information.
You only need one. It's KennedyCarter.com.
Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
Sounds like it's not a thing.
It should be.
I think you've just lied to me.
But I think this is fantastic for LA because they're looking to the future as well. They're looking, so they've traded Erica Wheeler, and I thought Erica was great last season. Atlanta are getting a really good player in her. I didn't want to see her go, but if you're trading her for Kennedy Carter, if you've got the option to, you do that and you can build around that as well. And there's also, so it's not official, but Liz Cambage has got a verbal agreement with LA, so that may or may not pan out. And I did a complete 180 on this. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. When that was announced, I'm all in. I'm all in on Cambage in LA because this is going to work. I think her and Necker are going to work really well together in the middle. And I think you don't pick those players. You don't pick up those players like Cambage and Carter unless it's gone through Necker and Shanae. There's a plan.
There's a dog. Dog's not happy. Dog disagrees with you, Caz. I am worried. I'm not worried, but the reason that I think that it's not going to work is like Liz Cambage is joining the team.
So Liz Cambage has always wanted to play in LA.
Yeah.
So I think this is different as well. And I think we saw before she had COVID last season, we saw a really, really good Liz Cambage. When she came back after having COVID, she wasn't the same. And you could tell because she wasn't over it and the lasting effects of it. But she was really good up until that point last year. She's going to be in a place where she wants to be. It's a decision, she's not been traded. She's choosing to go there if the signing comes through. And I think, again, when you've got players like Necker and veterans like that, it helps having players like that on your team. Although I guess you got McCotchery last year on Vegas, but she wasn't playing. But I think it's a different dynamic. And Cambage as a player is a fantastic player. Last season, she won with Southside Flyers in the WNBL. She was getting into foul trouble. The foul trouble is my concern. Her play isn't a concern, and people should be excited to see her like at full strength when she's back. Have I won you round?
No, not at all. The fact that you're saying things like, oh, she's got these pros around her. She's going to really help. She's not a kid. She's like,
yeah, but some people need that, don't they? Where's she been where she's had a vet? Where's she had that? She's not.
Last year.
Who?
Asia.
Asia's not a vet.
I know, but she's a real pro.
She is, yeah. But she might want someone that's kind of been there, done that for, I don't know, 10 years in the league.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it should be her. She should be that person.
It should, but not everybody is going to be like that, are they? So maybe, she needs someone that's, head of the Players Association isn't. That team's going through neck and neck as the face of that franchise. These decisions aren't going to be made without sort of her buy-in. Unless GM Derek Fisher trades her to Dallas. So.
Well, so this is the trade. This is the trade. This is probably not the trade, because this website used to be way easier to use and now it's way harder to use. Across the timeline. So show me a roster.
The Carter trade?
No. I'm trying to find a roster. No roster. Annoying. Anyway. So Washington Mystics have the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Kendi Carter's going to Washington, mate. I'm sorry to tell you.
No.
Sorry to break that to you.
No. What are LA going to do with the number 1 pick?
Well, they're going to take they're probably going to pick a player with it, Caz.
Will they, or will they trade it like they trade all their picks?
Maybe, who's, Rin Howard, the guard out of Kentucky. She's
not going to Washington. Washington have just got Emma Mieseman. No, she hasn't. No. Chicago have just got Emma Mieseman.
They have indeed.
But just on LA a second. So Jordan Canada's also signed there as a free agent. Gabby Williams, who didn't get to play for the Sparks, was traded to Seattle for Katie Lou Samuelson and I think a draft pick. So yeah, new look Sparks. It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting.
It's either going to work really well or not,
or fall apart completely. Interesting one for me is and I could be I'm not too sure how to say her name, but Kaisri
Kaisri Gondrezick.
With the Sky.
Yes, so Indiana waived her. She was the 4th pick in the draft this year, and she was waived by Indiana because they like to do that with their draft picks.
I mean, you've got 12 franchises and 2 are run horrifically poorly.
Who's the other one?
Indiana and Atlanta.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm joking. I was joking.
All right, Caz has had to go. It's a real shame, real shame that Caz had to leave the podcast early. But yeah, are you kidding? This guy.
Oh, it's a shame Atlanta had run so oddly on the court with the great stuff they've done off the court.
It really is. It truly is. It's just again, there aren't that many teams. Like, get it together.
But yeah, Kaisra Gondrezick on the Sky is going to be good. She didn't get I think most of the rookies, bar D.D. Richards, didn't really play much last year, did they? We didn't really see a lot from them. But I think she's a good fit on the Sky, and I'm glad someone's picked her up.
I of course, agree. I think it's exciting. I mean, I can say I'm interested to see how she goes. I hope it goes real well for her. I hope she finds success. Um, is there any more WNBA news that we have for right now? There's loads of transactions.
Yeah, Chicago. So some of the main ones. So we got Chicago trading Diamond DeShields. There was a 3-way deal with Indiana and Phoenix. So Diamond DeShields is now in Phoenix. Julie Allemand is in Chicago. I forget what Indiana got out of it.
For Allemand, let me check.
Allemand, Diamond DeShields, and I think it was Bria Hartley went to.
Okay, Chicago is signing and trading Diamond DeShields to Phoenix. Chicago is trading its own first-round pick and 2023 first-round pick to Indiana. Phoenix is trading Bria Hartley and Phoenix's 2022 second-round pick and the second-round pick for 2023 to Indiana. Phoenix is trading its own first-round pick in 2023 to Chicago. Indiana is trading the contract of Julie Allemand to Chicago. A lot of moving pieces there.
Yeah, and Phoenix also signed Tina Charles from Washington. So Phoenix looking a bit scary this season. So you've got Skylar Diggins-Smith, Diamond DeShields, Tina Charles, Brittany Griner, and Diana Taurasi. So that's formidable.
That's all right, isn't it? That's
yeah.
not bad. I like that. I hope it goes well for Diamond DeShields and obviously all players, but I really like DeShields. I like Allemand as well. Mm-hmm. Dallas Wings, the biggest news. Arike Gumbawale signed a contract extension. Yeah. So yeah, in your face.
That's a wise decision.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Probably, hopefully, everybody definitely by the club. Gabby Williams traded from the Sparks to the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned it earlier, but just very quickly, how do we feel about that? We sad about
that? I think it's a shame for not having got to see Gabby Williams play. I really like Gabby Williams as a player, and she's a really good defensive player. So I do think LA lose a little bit there, but they add 3-point shooting with Katie Lou Samuelson, who had a career year last year. She's just fantastic playing in Spain for Avenida. And I think that's a really good pickup for the Sparks. And also, I mean, that makes Seattle very strong as well, adding Gabby onto that Seattle core as well. So I think, yeah, win-win.
Steph Dolson going to New York Liberty. That was a bit. I didn't expect to see that. I thought she'd be kept on at Chicago. Evidently, not the case. She goes to Liberty.
Yeah, I'd have thought she'd be a Chicago lifer from now on. But I think it's different, isn't it? When you've won, so Chicago have won, you maybe getting options that offers that you wouldn't before. And I don't know, once you've won, you can kind of maybe make a decision based on, I don't know, just what you want to do. If you want to go home, you want to be near a home, near a family, because you've done it. Obviously you want to keep winning, and they want to win again, but it offers a lot of opportunities once you've got that ring.
Be really interesting to see how they go next year. New York, because they look like they're really gearing up to really try and do something.
Yeah, and I think Sabrina as well. Sabrina in her first, so she had obviously played 3 games in a rookie season. This was essentially her rookie season, so getting to play a full season after having the experience, and get back into it. I think that's going to be good to see.
It will be, though. She's not playing in Europe, is she?
She is not at the moment. No.
Is she playing anywhere?
No.
Oh, I don't like that. I mean, maybe it'll be all right, but I do not like that. So New York Liberty, coached by Sandy Brondello, so immediately, mega upgrade. No disrespect to Walt. Oh, what's his surname?
Hopkins,
thank you. Mega upgrade. Their roster: Rebecca Allen, Steph Dolson, Natasha Howard, Sabrina Ionescu, Paris Kia, Betnaja Laney, Michaela Onyemwere, who Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Dee Richards, Kylie Shook, Sammy Whitcomb, and Jocelyn Willoughby. I mean, that is a potentially very, very spicy roster.
Someone they let go that I really think's a shame though is Jazz Jones, and she's signed with Indiana, but I think New York will miss her.
They also waived Liana Odom, which I thought was interesting. Not to the same significance, but I do think it's quite interesting. I think she was a decently sized player for them. Hello. The dog tries to get involved. Hi, Bron. So yeah, again, exciting stuff.
One of the other big names that's gone is Angel McCoughtry has signed with Minnesota. And Sylvia Fowles has said this is going to be her last season. So she's got a farewell tour with Minnesota.
Minnesota have also signed Laisha Clarendon. So I love that.
Yes, I do. And Nafisa Collier is out at the moment because she's pregnant and she's due in May. So you don't know how much of the season she's going to play. So they need to.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, congratulations to Nafisa Collier. Congratulations indeed. I'm just scrolling through a few other transactions. See if there's anything jumping out. Phoenix Mercury sign Shea Petty to a training camp contract. Just give her the real deal. Just call her. Like, come on, let's sort yourselves out, lads.
After her performance in the finals, she should absolutely be on a full contract.
Sort it out. Dallas Wings. This is going back to December, but they optioned the Team XIs on Bella Allery, Taisha Harris, and Satu Sabali. All super duper sensible decisions. Temi has been extended by Indiana, so will we see Temi Fagbenle back in the show?
I hope so. I'd like to see her.
I hope so too. Lauren Cox got extended by your lot.
Yeah, the Sparks.
We're going to see Lauren Cox playing?
You didn't see her playing, did you say?
Are we going to see her play?
Oh, yeah, she had a really good second half of the season. Yeah, because obviously she was getting no minutes in Indiana. She came out with limited time to practice and get to know the playbook in LA, and she did. She was solid in the time that she got on court. I think that's a good re-signing for LA. Again,
she's another player that I really like, and I'm excited to see.
Defensively as well, she's one of those players that's really prides herself on a defense as well.
There was another one that did stand out to me. Can't find it now. Who was it? Was it Kia Stokes signing with the Aces? Was that the one?
Maybe.
No, it was Kia Nurse signing with Phoenix Mercury.
Re-sign Phoenix. Okay.
So another just
one of the big non-player moves is the Las Vegas Aces signing Becky Hammond.
Yes, that's huge.
And her
big money too.
Yeah, so this is good. This is the direction that we want to move in as well. For over $1 million is her contract. So that's Vegas. I feel like Vegas are doing what London are doing here to a bit of an extent. They're putting, to try and separate themselves a little bit.
It's how I often describe the Las Vegas Aces. Hey, do you know the Las Vegas Aces? They really are the London Lions of the WNBA, actually.
Yeah. I mean, just in the similarity, the way they're trying to push a little bit, and
you're absolutely right. Mark Clark and Bill Lambert, many similarities between the two. Many similarities.
We'll see Mark with a headband on next game.
Oh my God, I want to see that. I want to see that. That'd be great.
They're trying to set the standard, paying Becky Hammond this contract. There's a quick documentary that Chelsea Gray did about her free agency, where she went to Vegas and they took her on a private jet to go and see the arena, the practice facility and stuff, and just the way she was treated in free agency. Because Bill Lambert was saying it should be the same as how the guys are treated. and she obviously didn't. So that season she didn't sign with Vegas, but then she obviously did the following season with LA. So I just think it's things like that kind of, they're building on, and the owners of the Aces are really setting the tone. So,
I mean, you should be one of the 12 best, highest profile teams on the planet. You should be, being able to wine and dine and impress these players and get them on board, make them feel special. All right, Caz, we've been chatting away for 90 minutes and 41 seconds. Is there anything else before we wrap up for today?
Just watch the
women's basketball.
Women's basketball, yes. Also watch the Manchester Mystics Division 2 team as they take on the Sheffield Hatters Division 2 team this Sunday at 5 o'clock on the Manchester Magic and Mystics YouTube channel.
Oh, a bit of D2 action for you.
We need more. People need to be able to see more of it.
With any luck, I believe I might be doing the London Lions women's game this weekend. Not entirely sure, but we'll confirm if we're getting that up and streamed. I think we hopefully should be. So that'll be good.
And something we haven't mentioned is the Premier League, the Women's Wheelchair Basketball Premier League.
Oh my god!
Started.
Yeah, it has.
And you were there.
Yeah, I was. Get it, Phoenix.
How did you find that game?
It was incredible. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah. East London Phoenix, coached by my guy, Michael Hanson-Morris, a friend of FocusHoops. He's got his own show, but he never does anything with it. It's called the Hanson-Morris Report. It would be really good, but he's too busy, or so he claims to be. No, it was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend getting to all the games if you can, if you've got one near you. So it's a 4-team league. Anyway, it's Worcester, Loughborough, who beat the Phoenix on the weekend. Cardiff Met and East London Phoenix, and yeah, they beat Cardiff. They went on an incredible run. Phoenix. It was a 22 or 26-0 run to close out the end of the third and the fourth quarter. So it was really, really brilliant performance from them. Well coached by Mark Hanson-Morris, I must say. And yeah, no, it was a really great atmosphere. Great game. It's the first time I've seen wheelchair basketball in person where I've really been paying attention. I've seen it a couple of times whilst I've been media at places, but in between the two finals, you're interviewing people and doing whatnot. And it's awesome. It's so good to watch. It's very, very exciting. I'm still trying to fully work out what constitutes a travel. Because there was one or two called during the game, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a travel. That's fine. I understand what that looks like." And then I saw something else that looked like a travel, and I was like, "Nah, I'm back to square one." But that's my own ignorance. I need to work on that. But yeah, 100% go to a game. I think they're all being streamed and commentated and all sorts.
All on YouTube.
So yeah, well worth a look. I'm quite gutted. I was supposed to be doing ALU Loughborough. So I, made the decision. Well, I can't go to see the Phoenix because they were taking on Loughborough with friend of FocusHoops, Robin Love. Friend of FocusHoops, Robin Love's Loughborough took the win over Phoenix. 61-50, I think the final score was. Great game again. But yeah, couldn't be there, which sucks because I didn't get my game on the weekend either. But yeah. So, Caz, we need to work out how we're both going to get to Loughborough and go and watch a game together because that would be sick. So,
I would. Yeah. Is that my place?
Let's work it out.
Yeah.
We're on the road. But yeah, it's awesome. Go check it out. We will be back in our next podcast episode, which will hopefully be soon, Caz. We'll have a bit more of a proper rundown and maybe try and get somebody on from the league to talk things through. Maybe somebody new. Maybe. But yeah, really interesting, really exciting to watch. Amy Conroy is just a superstar. She's unreal. And yeah, my big takeaway with it, aside from the just incredible skill in the shooting, like being able to score layups from like that lower position, it just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
But I was sat there and I turned to the person I was watching the game with, and I was like, "This just looks exhausting. Like it just looks knackering." And like that sounds like a weird thing to say from somebody who literally works in pro sports and has been involved in sports my whole life, but I've never looked at something and been like, "That looks so tiring," because everything's done with the hands, obviously, arms, and the mental decisions you make. It's just good. It's just good stuff. Go check it out. Follow them on all the social medias, and we will have we'll kick off our next episode with a proper rundown of that league because it's sick.
As a neutral analysis person as well,
I'm neutral. I'm neutral.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm
known for my neutrality.
Hey?
I said I'm known for being.
I'm known for being neutral, I think.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Except for when Pablo was just there, like, he's a Lions fan.
I'm supporting Loughborough. I'm supporting everyone, but mostly Loughborough.
Yeah, famously unbiased Caz EB. Right. I think that is going to do it. Any more for any more, Caz?
No, I think we're all good. This was fun.
This has been good fun. We need to do it much sooner. We also need to do this much sooner. I'm sorry, I meant to click this. That's where people can find you on the internet. Hooping Caz EB.
That's me. Yeah.
I'm a Wed's touch. Not on their heaps at the moment, taking a week off, which is it's nice. Good for the soul. But yeah, that is going to do it for us. Take care. Thank you so much for checking it out. And don't forget, watch Women's Hoops. It's really good. You'll have a good time. All right, I'll do. Take it easy.